Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Aries, and I'm back with another recap and review of Found, episode 5. Y'all, I'm so proud of our little show right here. I'm not going to even put the lil on it because it is really stomping with the big dogs, in my opinion. You know, if I do say so myself, this episode was really giving me everything that I've been hoping to see. It's progressively getting better and better and better. Thank you for tapping in with your friend. Go ahead on and like that video. Let me know that you were in the building. Drop a red phone in the comments for your girl. So let's get into it over here where the red phone resides. Hi. So we start the episode off. Gabby always got something going. Like, this woman don't stop. Okay, she is checking on somebody named Tony Edwards. We end up finding out from the conversation that he's a minor, and no, she's not a relative, but like, she out there demanding the status on him. Maybe that's the case she's working, because it seemed like they be only working one case at a time. We don't know. So while Gabby is checking up on Tony, she gets a knock at the door. And I noticed that she was looking at her Ring camera. As the doorbell rings, she goes into a flashback. We always got to start the show with a good flashback now with her and Sir. And so Sir is springing upon Gabby that he's planning to move them out the country. Yeah, he been had this in the plans. He was just waiting until Gabby got acclimated and comfortable with the conditions and the situation. For he go run off to Paris trying to get a new name and asking Gabby, like, what are you gonna name yourself? I want you to think about it. Sir, like, you're crazy. I just can't believe how nutty this fool is. Gabby snap out of it. She saw that Paris thing. That may have been what triggered her to think about that time when Sir Crazy Ass was gonna run off to Paris and have them changing their name. So she goes to the door, and it's a man there, and she's talking to him. This is somebody that she know. It ends up being the executor of her father's estate, and he's trying to tell Gabby, I didn't know that somebody could kind of like really tell you when it's time to spread the ashes. So he's recommended to Gabby, like, I guess he got to see this through. You know, he got to see this through, basically. Come to find out that Gabby, when she came back, she and her father were distant, okay, because they were both blaming each other for Gabby's disappearance. Gabby was blaming herself for getting snatched, and the daddy was blaming himself for not being able to find her. And the man tell her, like, look, try and do this for your dad. The only thing that separated y'all was that monster, that man that took you. And you know, this really pisses Gabby off because she was in the middle of cooking Sir some breakfast, and she had him a good little toddler breakfast there, nice 3 4 slices of apples and about 2 scrambled eggs. And Gabby scraped that into the trash. She said, forget that. Popped 2 pieces of burnt toast out, put it on the plate, and took it down there to Sir. Threw it at him and told him a bon appetit. I said, okay, look what the French going on. She like, Paris this toast. This ain't no croissant. You about to eat this burnt toast with a hole in it. Like, how come the toast had to get a hole in the middle of it? Is it that deep, Gabby? If it is, just let the man go. But you can't because you need him. But child, Sir is so sneaky. This man is like, he gives Gabby this glare, like, you know, like it ain't nobody business, that glare that he be giving. When he wanting something over in the corner whimpering, that, you know, I just would hate to have you think that I'm like that evil. I would hate to have you think that I'm that kind of a person. Sir, it's really the delusion for me. This man is crazy, but fine. So Gabby goes to the office, and of course we got our first case. We got a friend of a girl named Satcha in there telling us about how she has been gone missing. Her and her brother Carlos, Satcha and her brother Carlos. Okay, they keep a low profile because they are undocumented. And they, you know, they got to play it low key. She does have a job. She just doesn't have any social media or anything like that for anybody to really kind of like, you know how they be doing snooping. You know how Zeke get to doing when he gets to looking on the internets, going to the social media. He like Neve when it really come down to it. Zeke will get Neve on you real quick and come up with some information. So on top of the missing person, we also got a little side activity going on with my girl, the detail lady, Miss Margaret. Okay, she is hanging up a little bus, a lost and found, more information type of thing for Jamie at the bus station. So that's big for her. She's taking that step because apparently she has taken these efforts in the past, and it's just been really heartbreaking and hard for everybody involved to see her go through this, to get her hopes up and be let down. So boom, they got the two cases going. Margaret's case is just really in the background. Nobody really knows about it. I think Gabby and Don, of course, he knows about it, but Lacey seems to be out of the loop. Zeke is in on it because, he's tracking everything down. So now that Gabby is on this case, she goes over to see her man Trent. And it's like this episode is the first time that I didn't see Gabby smile in this man's face and really act like she want him. This is the first time. I think that he wearing her down. I don't know. Like maybe she's just starting to get more comfortable with something. I don't know. Just maybe with him and the possibility of what they could be. Like, man, fuck sir. Forget that man. I was just like, okay, Gabby, stop really smiling all in my man's face like that, because you didn't want him 4 episodes back. It didn't seem like you had no type of feelings for him, and now all of a sudden you want to be coming and smiling and profiling, trying to get some help with your case. And I'm really not feeling that, because Trent is, like I said, he is getting, since episode 3, Trent has been getting progressively more fine. Okay, at first I really could not see it for him. I don't know, I guess I didn't even check for him like that. But the more that Gabby is playing hard to get, the more that I'm looking like, okay, as soon as you buy that wine, I might creep up from behind Miss Mosley. So yeah, Gabby over here working her magic, letting Trent know that, look, I'm over here trying to get some help in my case. Maybe you just need to prioritize, something like that. And she going about her business. Now, what I do like is that this black cop lady, I don't know her name. Drop down in the comments, y'all, if y'all know this lady name. Kendall, I know you might know her name if you watching. I love that she's been getting more and more action as the episodes progress. She's been getting more and more lines. Now she in here, she telling Trent, like, and I really first I thought she was checking Trent out. But I had to remember that she was looking at the homicide case folder that he had open when Gabby was just right there. And so yeah, she's looking at that. She's like, it must feel good to be back in homicide. That's a level up from missing persons. So they always be dogging out like a special victims unit or missing persons. That ain't no real cop work that they want to do. They want to be out there getting the bodies and dropping them, period. So Gabby, Don, and Bella Lacey head over to the missing girl Satcha's apartment. And immediately when they got in here, look, the apartment is a mess. I'm wondering, like, where is the detail lady? Because the detail lady needs to be here. But she is at the bus station. She's waiting on something to happen with the poster that she set up, So she's sitting there, she waiting on that booby trap. And these three come over to this apartment. Don go in there in the room looking for somebody, and a guy comes out with a bad swing, hit Don in the back of the head, knock him out. First of all, Don looks a mess, okay, because his man is out of town, his hair all over his place. I'm saying, like, the way that they tried to portray Don as if just because his man is gone and he is definitely suffering from separation anxiety, that he not gonna like brush his hair down. Maybe not. Okay, I don't want to be insensitive to Don, but I'm like, is this to show or like to illustrate the amount of stress and frustration that the man is going under? Y'all had to tease his hair up like that. So Don walking around looking like a zombie. In the room, Gabby walked in that same room looking for Don, but he's not responding because he didn't got hit upside the head. I'm like, man, if this man hit Gabby, we just know it ain't gonna happen. But he take a swing at her. She back, dodge it. Then she end up getting him up by the bat up under the neck. Okay, and she was really upset and pissed with him because he's like, oh, Satcha is my sister. I came here to look for her when I couldn't find her and I didn't know who y'all was. So look, I just was swinging first and asking questions later. Zeke ends up tracking down Satcha's boss. Now the boss, he looked a little sleazy and greasy, but he really don't have much, they don't have much on him. Margaret is looking at him and checking out his actions and reactions, but he's not really giving much. She doesn't come up off any suspicion to him other than the fact that he said, he referred to Satcha in the past tense, and I was like, my antennas have stuck up, and Margaret was like, she is. You know how she quick to tell somebody that because she keeps hope alive every time, and I love that about Margaret. So the boss suspect that Satcha had a boyfriend or something. The team ended up going to a hotel because Zeke saw some footage of her from an Instagram. She did end up having social. So the crew goes to the hotel and they ask the hotel manager, like, look, they give him the rundown. He's so quick to say that, no foul play occurred here. And yeah, I don't know anything about this young lady. Well, they definitely saw her go in, but they didn't never find any evidence of her leaving out. He ends up saying that he referred to foul play because it was something about a champagne bottle that was popped that he initially thought was a gunshot. It's a mess, okay? So the crew is back to the hotel with it, and they are here to investigate now because they have Trent and they have the lady cop that I was referring to that has more lines, and I'm loving it. And they go into the service elevator, and they looking for blood. They got the luminol down there. They spray the Lumi. They looking down there. They like, any blood splatter? She was like, oh, it's more than splatter. But that don't necessarily mean nothing. So pump y'all brakes. Gabby, she be so gun ho and ready to shut down. She ready to put yellow tape around the building, and they like, no, 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 no. Actually, Gabby, hold on, because this could be all kind of bodily fluid. We don't know exactly what this is. So Gabby is getting frustrated. She don't want to have to need Sir because it was Sir's fault. Now you can't blame yourself, Gabby, but you can't be mistreating my man down in your basement like that either. Either you gonna let him go or you're not. Cause he doesn't have to help you. So Gabby go down there and say, look, I don't need your help on this no more. And he was like, what's going on, Gabrielle? You know how Sir get hit. Gabrielle, what is it, Gabrielle? I don't see you like this. Who was that visitor? They must have really ruffled your tail feathers. And she was like, you know what, Sir? Um, j- just look at it then. Whew. When Sir came back and told Gabby she was slipping, I said, ooh wee. Whole time he got the little wood plank in the back that he done broke off when he doing his pull-ups out of frustration out of that little sorry ass meal that Gabby came and thrown at him. And he ended up breaking off a little shank of wood, literally. And he been hiding it and holding on to it, kind of like deciding when he gonna whip it out or if he is gonna try to do something to Gabby. Gabby ended up taking Sir's advice, like, look, if Satcha was dead, her apartment wouldn't have been ransacked like that. She gotta still be alive and gotta be probably hiding from something. So Don comes in the office with Satcha's backpack. They go through it. It's a little Polaroid in there with a little boy and a girl. This is Satcha and her brother when they were kids. They notice that this little boy got a mole on his neck, and the guy that they saw at the house that was claiming he was Satcha's brother didn't have no mole on his neck. And they looking at the picture compared to a picture that Don found of this man partying. Don felt like that wasn't right, that he was out partying hardy while his sister is MIA. And they comparing the notes like, this ain't even this man. This ain't this man's sister. Who could this be? And coming to find out, Trent knows him from a case that he's working. He's connected to the dead body that on the homicide case that Trent is working. And that's one of the elements that I liked about this episode, is that they tied Trent's case into Mosley and Associates missing persons case. I'm liking that. Okay, I thought that was very unique and clever, and it was unexpected. It was honestly, it was kind of like, oh my God, y'all, really? But at the same time, I was here for it. I'm not gonna lie. I love this level of crime drama. Meanwhile, the detail lady, they still trying to figure out where is Satcha at in this hotel. She got to be in there. So the detail lady, while they're watching some surveillance footage from the hotel, they notice the cleaning lady's cart. Now, is it just me? But I literally watched this episode a few times last night, y'all. And I never really saw nothing but the cleaning lady's cart. I didn't see no signs of it could have possibly been a Satcha underneath there in the trash can and none of that. Like, was it just the fact that it was her cart? Did y'all see any movement? Like, did I miss something, or is it just like that was just them acting it out? Okay, so nonetheless, shortly after the cleaning lady passed that cart, the fire alarm go off. So they figuring like, what a coincidence. They get back over there. Okay, they end up having the hotel manager tied up in the basement, and Satcha's somewhere in here running and hiding, and he triggered the fire alarm just so that everybody could get out because it's a man in there with a gun. And guess who it is? It's Manny, the guy that's on the case that Trent is working, the guy that was pretending to be Carlos, Satcha's brother. He in there, and they walking through the kitchen. They having a good little Jurassic Park scene where they walking through the deep freezers and things. And Don ended up bumping into this dude. They tussling. Don tussling with this man, Manny. Man got Manny. So Don tussling back and forth with Manny. Manny got a gun on him. Don ends up getting his life saved by Trent. Comes in here and shoots him. He didn't even shoot him to kill him. He just shot him in the arm to get him up off of Don. And Don and, Trent been having their little head button. So he just looking at him like, and Trent was looking at him like, yeah. And then at the end of that, Gabby, she went over there. She found Satcha. And then she was looking at Trent like, I'm like, man, that's the most smiling in this man's face. The disrespect. Smiling in this man's face like that. She is just falling harder, I guess, just getting more in love with the idea of Trent. You know what? I don't know what you're doing, Gabby. And I'm not even going to sit up here and go up for it because now I like Trent. So just, huh, I, I don't know what to tell you. I digress. How at the end of every time they find someone, and they did end up reuniting Satcha with her brother, the real brother Carlos. So you know how at the end of the episode, when they all go back to the office and they take their little sip of wine, hang the picture on the wall as another one found. Okay, shout out to found. This time, not only is Zeke giving a toast via satellite, we got our boy Don over there too, because this whole episode, everybody's been asking him if he's okay with being alone because his partner is out of town thugging with his rounds, and Don is having to get through that time. He did have a breakdown this episode, so he really have been going through it, and he over there with Zeke because now he understands him more. They share a commonality, and that's his boy. And I love the bromance that's growing here. I am definitely here for it. Don shares with the group that he was held captive for 3 years. I think as a POW. I don't know. We should find out more soon, I'm sure. But at this point in time, he just basically broke the ice and let that rabbit out the hat. Now, back to Margaret. She's hyped because they somebody done pulled a ticket off of her flyer with more information about Jamie, and she been wanting to know all this time who had pulled that down. Okay, can we get that footage so we can see who pulled that tab in hopes of it being somebody that she recognized? Maybe it's Jamie that pulled it off and deciding if he's going to reach out and be like, it's me, mama. But to her surprise and to everyone else's disappointment as well, it was just somebody that had grabbed it real quick, grabbed a piece of the flyer off to wrap their gum in it, child. I was like, the disrespect that they doing right here to my friend Margaret. Margaret just comes out and say, you know what, look, like I can't give up hope. Like I just can't. Like I don't know why, but I can't move on. And I'm like, dang. Thought I was gonna make it through one episode of Found without crying. And Margaret, you do it every time. When this lady said that, I'm just like, dang, can my girl get a win? Come on now. Can Margaret have something good happen for her? So Gabby back at the house, and she just sitting back and she thinking like, you know what, I need to go ahead on, get my life together and pour these ashes out. I need some time to reflect. She hits up Trent. She's like, I need you. And I was like, where you about to go? Like, oh, you about to go over there with Gabby now because she all up in your face, but she wasn't feeling you last week and you was all up in mine. How the tables have turned. But go ahead on. So Gabby went on with Trent, and they sitting on the dock of the bay, and she talking about her dad, sharing memories, and he's just there. Like, he is definitely loving his time with Gabby, and I'm salty. You could tell that Trent was genuinely happy to be there and happy to be there for Gabby. Gabby come back, and she gives her his belongings back. She gives him his box back, and she's like, you know what? I'm not gonna do you the way that you did me. I'm gonna give you your stuff back because I'm not you. You try to turn me into you. He was like, no, I made you, Gabrielle. I made you who you are, Gabrielle. And look, here, take this because I don't want you to think that I would do anything with it. I wouldn't want you to think that I was going to use it as a weapon. Turn it all backward to her. She snatch it. Her eyes get all watery like, sir, I know damn. And he was just like, and it's like he trying to really give her that little puppy dog look like, Gabrielle, don't think that I would do no crazy mess like that. And she looking at him like, this mother. And I'm looking at him like, sir, you really are crazy. Sir, you really are crazy because you was thinking about doing something to Gabby. Only reason you gave it back to her is because she didn't give you your stuff. So now you cool. But if she wouldn't have gave you that box back, you would have been ready to be getting the snapping. Y'all, sir, just a mess. I just cannot with him. That look that he tried to give at the end, I was over it. Like, boy, you manipulate. Yo, I really enjoyed this episode. I give this episode a B plus. I feel like they ramping it up slowly but surely, and not even slowly, but what's happening is every episode is introducing another layer into the fold, and I'm loving that because we got Annie in that story working in the background. We may have something with Tony Edwards working in the background. We don't know much about him just yet. That could be something that Gabby is just, like a case that she's working on. But it could also be another missing child messing around with Sir. We never know. So let me know what y'all thought about it. I really love the way that Gabby and Trent seem to be building their connection. Usually I'm not here for no love story where it's unnecessary, but the way that she had been playing him to the left is really refreshing, I guess, to see her lean into him and be receptive of his kindness and his fineness, child. I mean, he ain't like drop down gorgeous, but for this show, yes, he's definitely giving all the eye candy. He giving enough to be gay. I love that we got some more information on Don. Don is that guy. Don is a vault. He holds everybody's secrets. I won't tell. Don won't tell your secrets. Your secrets are safe with him. Yeah, yeah. Don be holding on to everybody's secrets, and they're there for him as much as they can be, but like this man really done been through some things. So he let a little cat out of the bag tonight though, when he let us know that he had been held captive for 3 years. I was waiting on Zeke to say something, but he let Don just have his moment, and that's fine. I'll be patient for Zeke because I know that's going to be big. Whenever that Mama Jamma drop, it's going to be something. So let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I'm loving it and looking forward to more of it for sure. Tapping in with your friend over here. So thank you for tapping in with your friend over here where the red phone resides. Ha ha. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.